Sometimes it feels like I don't even have a neighborhood to mourn. It doesn't really feel like mine anymore. I walk around without a destination in mind, although my feet seem to know where it wants to take me. It's summer, and people are hot but happy, walking around with their kids and bikes and dogs. I think people are just thankful to have power after weeks or more without it, and heat that felt like triple digits. God, I'm just happy my grandparents are okay. But now I'm getting off track. That's a different storm, not the one I'm supposed to talk about today. They all seem to run together sometimes. I always smile looking at my park, the one I spent countless hours climbing trees and skidding my knees and playing games with my best friends. It's the only thing that hasn't changed. Just a few feet over is the elementary school. The new building is beautiful, and I'm so happy for the kids who are educated there. But I can't help but think about how I simply watched the school for hours as it filled with water. From the second story that we had taken refuge in, I couldn't take my eyes away as the place where I'd learned how to read was drowned. 2 more streets down is the grocery store that we evacuated to. My whole neighborhood gathered here just 7 years ago, pets and babies in hand, waiting for anything that would take us out of the water, the endless rain. Eventually, the massive National Guard trucks came. The guards let me and my sister ride in the front with them since we were children. They joked with us and smiled. Made me feel special. I finally decide it's time to come home. After Hurricane Harvey took most of my physical belongings, we rebuilt. Our community rebuilt. And now I have a beautiful new house to come home to. But I'm a little on edge every time it rains. I'm surprised when my friends from university don't share this feeling. Most of them have never experienced a natural disaster. When I realized, I was so surprised at first because everyone at home had experienced at least 5. Of course, the storms didn't stop after Harvey. Uri killed at least 300 and left the whole city without power and freezing weather. Last year, Texas was ravaged by fire. And just a few weeks ago, the city was put on pause by Hurricane Beryl, which left millions without power for a week in 100-degree heat. No child should have to endure this. This November, I'm asking you to vote for my 12-year-old self who closed in on herself and did everything she could to take control of her life after everything she knew was washed away. I'm asking you to vote for the elderly people who might not survive if there's another power outage. I'm asking you to vote for the hundreds of unhoused people who die every year from extreme heat. I'm asking you to vote for Big Bend National Park and the rolling hills and sparkling rivers of Texas that I so desperately wish to keep intact, so that I can introduce them to my children and show them how I first fell in love with nature. On the 7th anniversary of Hurricane Harvey, I'm asking you to vote for candidates who understand the severity of climate change and are actively working against it so that our beautiful planet continues to be one that can support all of its inhabitants.